has just been like thirstily, hilariously, like tweeting at me. I don't even tweet anymore. I'm like so off Twitter, trying to get booked on my show. So here's what's wild about that. Here he is saying, like me, Joanne Reed is a kid of immigrants from a former European colony who went to Harvard. Unlike me, she benefited from affirmative action because she counts as black and, in her own words, wouldn't have gotten in without it. She complains that her peers looked at her blah, 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 blah. First of all, affirmative action is how you got in too, Vivek. They were looking for a more diverse cohort of people at the school. They let you in for the exact same reason. I'm just honest enough to admit it and not ashamed of how I actually got into college. That's number one. Number two, excuse me, Mr. Meritocracy, only on the merits. What makes you think that you are entitled to get on my show? If we want to go purely on meritocracy, then the only people that I'm going to book on the readout are the people who the data, the objective data, like the PSAT scores and SAT scores and great...
Like the ratings and coverage you're getting from saying his name?
Point average that got me into Harvard. The objective data says that you have about a 0% chance of ever being president of the United States. Oh. So excuse me, what is your entitlement to get on my show? Because you went to Harvard? That doesn't sound like meritocracy. Because that sounds like exactly the way other rich people get into Harvard. Because they have a connection to the school. So you think a connection to the school is the reason you should get on my show. Just like you clearly think that having a connection to Harvard is the way people should be able to get into Harvard. And aren't you the one who in your own little biography said that you come from the very highest echelon of people in India? So your elitism plus your connection to Harvard is the reason I should put you on my show to talk about your run for president, not the objective fact that you have any chance in hell of ever actually being president. You know what, Vivek? Holler at me when you're polling close enough to Donald Trump that you could actually get the nomination. Then you will have earned a place at my table. You don't get a place at my table simply because you are elite and have a connection to Harvard and happen to be an alum. That is the kind of, non-merit-based approach that so many of us object to in the way Harvard lets in legacies and the way you are trying to keep out people like me, and I hate to break it to you, but people like you from getting into the school. Be blessed.